Hey guys, it's Gabriel. As you guys saw in the last video, I finished up everything with my EPIK arrival, and I mentioned to you guys that before I started teaching, I actually went to my orientation, and so that's what I'm here to talk to you guys about. So let's get started. So before actually going to EPIK Orientation, I was really nervous about it. I think at this point, I had been shadowing with Sunny and Miss Bay for about a month, so I kind of got used to the school, and I was just thinking, well, you know, I'm watching my teachers, I feel like I can replicate, you know, what they're doing. Why do I have to go to orientation? I wasn't dreading the learning aspect of it. I was mostly nervous about meeting new people. I've become a little more outgoing and more social and just a little bit more confident about who I am and how I approach talking to people. I don't know, I just always get nervous, and especially in big groups. But I can honestly say that now that orientation is over and I've gone through everything, it's definitely an amazing experience. And regardless of whether or not you're a shy person or you have difficulties with talking to people, everyone is super sweet and very nice. I knew that I'd be taking the KTX to get there, and the KTX is a super fast Korean train. Before actually buying my ticket, my friend Alvina reached out to me and my other friend Jonathan. So Alvina and Jonathan are the ones that I met at the airport when I first arrived here in Korea. Alvina sends me and Jonathan an email, and she wanted to try to coordinate a way for all of us to go to Seoul together on the same train. I responded to the email, but we didn't get a response back from Jonathan, so we were a little bit worried about that. So we get our tickets, and then comes the day to actually get on the train. Sunny was really nice. She actually took me to the station. I had to catch the KTX at Gupo station, and I've never been to Gupo before. We kind of talked a little bit before the train actually came. I didn't want to leave my students. I didn't want to leave Sunny. I didn't want to leave my school. I became so comfortable in this new life that was sort of like created around me, and to leave and to go literally to the other end of Korea, and I knew that there would be a roommate situation, so I was just like, no. Like, I was so terrified of just everything, all of the aspects. It was funny because actually Sunny told me, she was like, well, talk to people and see what they say about, you know, their experience. When you hear about other EPIK teachers, co-teachers, you will appreciate me much more. And I was like, oh really? And she was like, yes. She's like, nobody does what I do. And I was like, oh, okay. We said goodbye, and I get on the train. I find Alvina, and it turns out my seat was, I think, like 2 seats away from her seat, but nobody was sitting next to her, so I was just like, oh, I'm gonna sit here. And we started talking, and I think the total train ride was about 2.5 hours. The train is super fast, it's very quiet and very smooth, and so it was definitely the best public transportation experience that I've had. And they also bring like little carts around. To be honest, actually, it kind of reminded me of the train in Harry Potter, how they sort of have like the trolleys, the food and stuff. And I mean, I don't ride trains often, so maybe that's just how all trains are, but this one was specifically like, it was very nice. And the windows were just really wide, you could see, you know, everything, and so it was cool. I was talking to Alvina, and I was telling her how much I really liked my situation, my home, my co-teacher, the students are great and everything. And literally everything that she told me was like the exact opposite. Her situation with her co-teacher was actually very difficult for her, and I really felt for her. Not everybody has, you know, a terrible co-teacher or anything, but you know, there can be situations where you don't always get along, or there's a personality difference or miscommunication, which can be a big one. Everything that Sunny said was true. Hearing from other people about their experiences, I really did end up coming home from orientation being very thankful for my life here and for my experiences here. I hadn't seen Alvina since the airport. We had exchanged emails a couple of times, but that was, you know, roughly it. So it was nice to be able to catch up, like a whole month's worth of stories. I think from the trolley, we each ordered a bread and drink. The drink was like some type of grapefruit something, and I was like, oh, that's nasty. It was so bad. I knew that it was sour. I don't know why I ordered it, but I think the lady was like, oh, it's good, it's good. And it was expensive too. Eventually we get to Seoul Station, and this is where we get lost. We didn't bring like too many bags or anything. You guys see this small one here? That's what I brought with me. Then I just had, you know, 5 days worth of clothes and just whatever I thought I needed, and then everything else that I needed I brought in my backpack. My backpack looks deformed right now, but yes. So we get to Seoul Station, and this is where we needed to transfer to get to the metro to take us to Haehwa Station. Seoul's transportation, like metro transportation, it's so complicated. This is actually a map of the Busan metro station, and this is a map of the Seoul metro station, and it's crazy. Like, it looks insane. There's just so many lines crossing and you just don't know where to go. We couldn't even find the station though. We were actually looking to figure out how to get to the metro station from the KTX station. Some people were pointing us outside, so we went outside. Other people were pointing us back inside. It was actually back inside. So we get onto the station, we make sure that we're heading towards Haehwa. We arrive at Haehwa, we have all of our things. We realize we don't actually know where this building is. We're actually supposed to go to NIIED, which is the National Institute for International Education building. We were just kind of looking around. We didn't know which exit we should take or anything. And then all of a sudden we hear a voice, and it was a guy. We turned around and he was like, "Hey, are you guys here for EPIK Orientation?" And we were like, "Yes." He was like, "All right, follow me." So we start following him. And at the time, we didn't even second guess it because we were so lost that we were willing to accept, you know, anyone's help or just, you know, follow anybody. It wasn't until later that I saw that he also had a luggage bag just like us. And so originally I was thinking, oh, I think he works for EPIK and he was probably sent here to come pick people up. But then why does he have a luggage bag though? So we're like, "Sorry, what's your name?" And he was like, "My name's Patrick." It is the exact same Patrick that you guys have seen in my videos. We started asking him more questions. It turns out Patrick had actually arrived a couple of months before because he actually has family here, and so he was just kind of chilling and waiting for orientation to start. He had also never been to this building, so he was actually just being really nice, and he saw that we were lost and he wanted to help us out. And so I guess he sort of figured while he was looking for the building, he might as well help us get there too, which, I mean, shows what kind of heart he has. Eventually we find the building. It wasn't too far away from the station. We start the check-in process, and so basically they hand us our name tag. Well, actually they didn't hand it to us, but the name tags were sort of laying out on a table and we had to find our name tags. This is mine, and I am from class 3, Busan. All the Busan people had green tags. This was my room number, 204. I was like, oh, this is an opportunity. Like, I can actually look and see if Jonathan's name's here. So I looked and actually saw that his name was there. So I was like, oh, okay. Because originally we were thinking maybe something bad happened and he left. And especially from my perspective, after hearing about Alvina's experience, I was like, you know, who knows what people are going through or what kind of transition process they're going through within their first month of being here. And so when he wasn't responding to the emails, that's what I was thinking. I was like, maybe he just went home. But when I saw his name on the name tag, I was like, oh, okay, good. Like, he's still here. He's just not here. So I picked up my name tag, and at this point I was thinking, you know, Patrick's super cool, and I knew that there was a roommate situation, you know, going on, or people were gonna be, you know, paired up or whatever. There was like 2 people in front of us, and they told them, oh, you're in room this and that. So I was like, oh, okay, clearly they have like an assigned order sheet or whatever. Patrick like goes next. I don't know if he actually heard me or not, but I mentioned to him and I was like, what if we like end up being roommates? In my mind, I was like, oh my gosh, like I hope so, because he seems really cool and genuine, and the fact that he helped us, like it told me that he has a good heart. I felt like I could trust him to be like a nice, you know, roommate. If you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, it definitely helps me out. You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Snapchat at Zuff678. Be yourself, love yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye! At first I thought she was gonna stay up there, but she didn't, and we literally started crossing paths, and I realized, oh my gosh, I'm totally alone. She went into the back and she just kind of watched me. I just remembered that feeling of first being scared, oh my gosh, she's leaving me up here by myself, but 2, actually feeling thankful that I was